Welcome to the What Play Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob. Lucas, as we said last several weeks, won't be here. Won't be here, but we have decided on a schedule that will work great for both me and Lucas, which is we're going to have him for the Super Bowl, 2 days before the Super Bowl. We're going to have him on the week before the draft. We're going to do the mock draft episode like we did last year. And I'm thinking we'll do after the first round of the draft. So also be. We may do a little bit more than that. We may not. But that's what I'm thinking in my head. So Lucas will be here. It's just to take a few minutes. Let's talk Eagles, specifically what happened. In an interesting conversation they had with Saquon Barkley over the course of this week. Saquon Barkley used 101 yards to break Eric Dickerson's 40-year record for rushing yards in a season. And they said to Saquon, we're resting our starters and you. So that means no record for Saquon, no Jalen Hurts for the second straight week. To my knowledge, he has not cleared concussion protocol yet either. So it's a wait and see moment. They've already said he won't, so he won't play it. So it's Kenny Pickett and Kenneth Gainwell. But they looked at this in two different ways, and I've come to the conclusion, the high voltage conclusion that I can come to, and I say, I understand both sides. Both sides make a lot of sense. The side of we want Saquon to get the record is not just the Saquon running back coach and offensive line and offensive line. So that's really offensive linemen take running the ball very personally. They enjoy it. They love it. They can fire off a block and just go and hit somebody. And in the passing game, they really can't do that. So it's kind of like an offensive lineman record as much as it is a running back record. And them not doing that, I'm sure there was frustration. But at the same time, they get it. They don't want him to get hurt because Saquon is the thing that makes that offense go. And when he don't play well, that offense isn't supposed to be at its top four. So they understand both sides. Personally, selfishly, I would be the player I want to be good. Put me in for a half and get it done and kick in. That's what I understand. But let's move on off the Eagles to the Cowboys. As the Dallas Cowboys have released Ezekiel Elliott. We said this on NFL World on Wednesday. I wasn't shocked that he was released. He was not playing. 74 carries, 220 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not barely cracked the top 85 in carries and yards. In touchdowns, he's like 6 years. It's not good enough for. It's not like he's not having the attempts. He had 3.1 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns, 220 yards, 74 carries. About 60th in carries and about 84th in yards. It's not good. It's not good production. That means there's almost each running back. Let's say each team uses 2 running backs, which is most of them. That means there's 59 other running backs better than he. Okay, not good. In terms of not good. And in yardage, it's 84. He's 84, meaning there's almost 3 times the amount of running backs. That's not good either. I wasn't shocked he was released. I was shocked at the timing. Now, Ezekiel Elliott did request his release. That's the difference of the story. He requested that he be released. And he was. He was requested it. He got it. The Joneses put out a really nice statement. They actually spelled his name wrong, by the way. 2 T's, not 1. So did Zeke's agent, Taylor Back, to the anthem. So Zeke's agent put out a very nice piece thanking the Cowboys for the opportunity. Zeke went through waivers yesterday, was not picked up. He's a free agent. Another question I'd have would be, who wants Zeke? Who wants him? If there's a team that is in the playoffs, who wants? I don't know. It's not going to be the Chiefs. The Niners aren't in it. So it's not the Chiefs. It won't be the Ravens. It won't be the Bills. It won't be the Texans. It won't be the Steelers. It won't be the Broncos or the Chargers. It won't be those teams. Oh, it won't be Cincinnati. It won't be Miami. That he's not that kind of running back anymore, or hasn't ever been. He won't be. I mean, Detroit, I guess. Minnesota, no. Green Bay, no. But there's just so many, and I don't see where he'd go. I just don't. But I hope all the best for Zeke, and I hope he can continue in his NFL career and have a chance to go win a championship. I really do. Next up, let's move on to a team. Let's actually move on to two teams. It's the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Broncos. The Broncos right now hold the 7th seed. They've been trying to get in the last 2 weeks. They haven't won. Holding on to deal life. The only way they get in the playoffs is they either win or something happens to Miami and Cincinnati. Cincinnati can get in. And the reason I say the Broncos hold it is because the Broncos, in my opinion, are their team at this point defensively. Even though the Bengals have played better, the Dolphins are hanging on barely. The team that was 2-6 is now hanging on. Let's start with the Broncos. Played really well, and then after that, Chargers lost. It completely fell apart. There's nothing like could ever happen like that. It was that. And they haven't gotten back on this fight. I wonder if that's the issue. So you gotta play Kansas City, who's not playing their starters. So it's Carson Wentz. If you can win, you got a division. You got the if they lose, Cincinnati, who plays that night or that night before against the Steelers. Steelers already in. There's nothing the Steelers really have to play for besides position because of where the Ravens are. And in the case of Cincinnati, I think if the Bengals make the playoffs, Joe Burrow should be MVP. I mean, the numbers are just insane. He should be MVP, not a stalker. Whether or not he will be, not going to really happen because of the team's background. But he deserves to be the MVP. That's how good he's. It's not like what we're saying Josh Allen's doing, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley is doing. Like, that's great. But Joe Burrow has been insane. He's been playing lights out the whole year. Just he isn't very good. He's another chance to make. And then they got the Dolphins. Who has been out? They made it work. Now they got to play the Jets. End of the year. The Jets are going nowhere fast. There's rumors, almost expected rumors, of Rodgers and even Adams at Congress the end of the season, which would shock me immensely. They haven't been that good. They haven't been that good. And that's an issue. That is a problem that is remaining with this team in the Jets. You should win that. However, it's December football in the cold, not on the Dolphins. The Jets are terrible. So maybe it could happen. Also, not just to play Tua, they're not very healthy team at this moment, so that could also be again. Tua isn't going to play in this game either anyway, as it was quote unquote unlikely he will play. I hope that he's ready for the playoffs. The Dolphins, if they make the 7th seed, the team they play is man up. They're just in the cold. No, they're just going to play well. Buffalo would give them a chance though. The defense stuff. Speaking of the defensive skill, they can be getting But it is the Detroit Lions. We have not talked about this. This is the team that's really number one seed. This is a very unprecedented matchup against the Vikings where they could win their division. And if they lose the game, they are fifth seed on the road. That's how remarkable it is. I'm seeing people say this is the greatest last game ever. I don't disagree with that. You gotta, I think, put Patriots and Giants up there in like 2007 when the Giants were scaring the Patriots. You gotta do that. But the star could come back is Alex Anzalone. Now you think that what happened to Alex Anzalone? Before Thanksgiving, Anzalone suffered a forearm and he actually broke his forearm. And this is a team that's just been ravaged by injuries the last 8 weeks, mostly. Their running back, their linebackers, safety, corner, the defensive line, they are just so banged up. But they keep going forward. They keep making it work. And that's talk about a great job by Ben Johnson, by Aaron Glenn, by all those coaches over there that are making it happen. That's a great job by them. So with Anzalone coming back, that's going to give a defense a much needed boost, especially last game of the season, rival game, let's go. The number one seed, which is a team that also desperately need a break to just go their way. They need something to go their way. It's not like they're not in the playoffs, it's just they need some rest. They're so banged up at this point. Anzalone coming back is a massive improvement to the defense. We talked about this in the NFL World YouTube channel. We'll talk about it here too, which is quote unquote Black Monday. What is Black Monday? It means coaches get fired. End of season, coaches get fired. Who is the guy getting fired? That's what that means. And we went through a list. And last night, I went back to the list. And I said 6 or 7 coaches up, including the guys who already including Rob Saleh, Eberflus, Kenneth Allen. I think McCarthy's out the door. And then I think another guy that could possibly be there, but I haven't fully talked myself into it, is Brian Daboll. Now, the people that could be taken to these jobs, the NFL, specifically ESPN, said it's not a great head coaching carousel. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I can name you, or just coordinators, not even head coaches and former head coaches, the guys who've been out of the league for a little while. It could be head coach Jimmy Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Brian Flores, Magnolo if someone went that direction. Matt Nagy could be talked about in Kansas City. I wouldn't be surprised if Kubiak gets a couple looks to direction. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Munkin of the Ravens got some looks. Joe Brady. I wouldn't be shocked. And that's not even counting the former head coaches, the guys on television, Rex Ryan and Ron Rivera, who interviewed, interviews for a Jet job. Pete Carroll, who talked about Ken, even John Gruden. These are names. This is a pretty, and whatever happens to McCarthy in Dallas, whether they decide to keep him or not. That one, I think, is interesting because I think McCarthy would be a high impact name if he moved on. And a Cowboys fan, I've said this before. It's not that McCarthy is a bad coach. He's not a bad coach. He's a good coach. He just doesn't fit this team. That's the difference. He doesn't fit this team. Would he fit in Chicago? Would he fit in New York? Would he fit? I don't know. Maybe Chicago would be his best shot because it's kind of a lower market. Maybe he win it. I don't know. I just think, depending on the decision they make with McCarthy, that's going to be interesting. The Cowboys have said, Cowboys, McCarthy, to meet next week about head coaching. It's like this. Second one, It's the second one. So I think in a weird way, the thing I hated about McCarthy is the thing that McCarthy could handle the situation that the Jones was keeping. But at the same time, he's just not good enough coach to keep this team afloat long enough if not everything is 100%. You don't have yourself close. You don't have yourself a season. You don't have some of your best defensive players. That's hard. And that's part of the reason why they are where they are. It's not really that just because he doesn't fit here. And you have to think about it. Go through the whole list. Stefanski, it's not his fault. The team's bad. It's just, you depend on Deshaun Watson. Deshaun's not what he once was. And Nick Chubb was not everything. You look at Doug Peterson, it doesn't work in Jacksonville. He's not capable of keeping a schematic thing. Trevor Lawrence is fucking with Reed. Players obviously just don't know what's going on. The team's good enough, but that's just what it is. In the case of an Antonio Pierce, there's a lot of coaching issues. A guy who's very inexperienced, doesn't understand how to use his timeout, when to use timeout, and keep the time up, do all that. He just doesn't understand. This is very inexperienced, which is kind of the territory you went. And then in the NFC, Cowboys, it's the same thing. Bad play calling, bad roster creation and management, and it's bad decision top to bottom, from upstairs to locker room, not able. It's just the team is not good enough. The quarterback is not good enough. The GM is not making right decisions. These guys you have to understand, they're not used to having to make the decision. And when they have to, they don't think, oh my God, there's so many decisions that have to be made that I was not aware of. Yeah, I was not privy to that. Yeah, because it's a hard thing to do. It's not an easy job. It's a tough job, and that's where they are. It's a tough job, and that's why coaches have been moved on. That's simple. But of the two people I think would stay would be Dable or Pierce, because the Raiders are so taxing, and the Giants, they think they are willing to be in the mediocrity for a lot longer than they want to be, and that's not good. Now, moving on, we'll talk about the Kirby Joseph stuff, and then we'll go. Actually, here we go. Let's do this. The Jets have interviewed both Ron Rivera and Louis Riddick. I wouldn't be against that if I would be the Jets, but Ron's not the best. It's a long process. Another thing I want to say before I talk about the Joseph thing is the Cowboys also, going back to Dallas, the Cowboys have yet to announce who's playing in this game, who's starting. I think they're going to keep this more like a preseason. They gotta, people like the guy they went with. But so I think they'll give him a quarter, a half. They'll give Trey Lance a half. They've also said that Will Grier, who's on the practice squad, would be given a half or a quarter or whatever. And McCarthy has not answered those questions, kind of jumped over them. We'll see what happens. I still don't know what it's going to happen. Maybe we'll find out later tonight on the box. Now let's go to the Kirby Joseph. The Pro Bowl votes came in with who's going to the Pro Bowl. And congratulations to all the people who went to the Pro Bowl out. But Kirby Joseph was not one of them, which I found was a bit insane, I guess, because Kirby Joseph leads in interceptions. He has not. And I was looking, I kept looking through my Twitter, all my social media, and all I said, with all my social media, and I couldn't find anything other than the fact that people saying, "Oh, it's because he's a dirty player." No, because Ndamukong Suh made a Pro Bowl. I want to make sure. How many? I'm fine. Let me see if I can find. Right, there we go. Ndamukong Suh, just at the time with the Lions, has been in Pro Bowls has been in 4 Pro Bowls. Well, it's not that. Okay? It's, I think, playing in Detroit. That's what I think. Playing in Detroit. It's kind of like, in a way, the shy girl at the party. Everyone else is dancing. Everyone else is doing all their things they want to do. They're hanging out with people. And then there's this shy girl who's there and she's sitting in the. That's kind of what it is. And in a way, Toby Joseph is that. And the Lions are that. They're the shy girl in the corner. But no one talks because they don't look like everyone's kind of getting used to the fact the Lions are good. For 50 years, they've been bad. So it was like, okay, 60 years they've been bad. I haven't done anything. So it's kind of hard for us to say, yeah, they're good. But Toby Joseph has played really well. 9 interceptions. This guy leads the league in interceptions at a safety position. Not easy to do. So I think Toby Joseph should be in. If we give some more credit to the Lions for playing their tail off, even though they're banged up, please. They deserve it. Let's jump back to, got it. Let's jump into the score. So we have the 2 games on Saturday. Browns at Ravens. This game is actually now, it's actually gone up in the Ravens system. -20 for the Ravens. The over-under 41. The Ravens have to win this game to clinch their division. I think they managed to, but I think I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns win that because 20 is a lot. Give me the Browns, they cover, but I think the Ravens won. Next up, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Over under 48. On the NFL world, I'm going to do the same thing here. I had all the teams win that were in that last spot. I'm going to have Cincinnati pull off the upset, essentially. Even though it's +2, I think Pittsburgh's better. I'm not saying these 2 teams played it was that way. Over under 48. I don't think they get close to 48, but I'm going to give it 21. Next up, on Sunday, Buffalo at New England. +3 for New England. Over under 36.5. Buffalo, Tom McDermott has said Josh Allen is going to play a little bit. Maybe a drive, maybe a quarter, we don't know. Jonathan Smith Trubisky. Drake May is expected to start. Wouldn't be surprised if Toby Bushwick does get in there, though. This is not going to be a fun game to watch. Either 2 end of the year games are not fun to watch. When they said that, getting to the Bills, they win this game. But it will be very similar to that. Next up, Saints at Bucks. Bucks plus for -14. 43.5 is the over-under. The Bucks need this to win their division. After the Atlanta's lost to Washington 8 weeks ago, they've lost their destiny plan. However, give me the Saints. They find a way to win this game. And my score is 20. Next up, Giants at Eagles. Eagles led by 2.5. 37 is the over-line. Kenny Pickett or Kenny McKee, one of them. Thanks, Gainwell. AJ Brown ain't gonna play. Devontae Smith ain't gonna play. This might be the Giants' only chance to win again. And you know what? They will. Giants win. In a weird game. Washington at Cowboys. Cowboys +6.5. Over under 44. Last time these 2 teams played, it was like the game was blown. It made no sense. I'm assuming Washington's coming in with that line. That they're gonna pick the tail of it. It could be Mike McCarthy's last game in Dallas. I wonder how Dallas plays this. I wonder who gets in this game. I wonder how this game operates. So, Washington to win. Dallas might keep it. So Dallas will cover, but Washington wins. And strange game, 28-20. Next up, Kansas City at Denver. Denver's favored in the 10.5. Carson Wentz is the quarterback. No Patrick Mahomes. I don't exactly know what that offensive line will look like, but it'll be interesting. Even the Broncos, they find a way to win this game. Broncos win 27-20. Dolphins at Jets. in New York, New Jersey, East Rutherford. That one over under 39. Give me the Dolphins to win. Tyler Huntley is going to make this happen, and the Jets are just name misery until they find something. Dolphins win. Strange game. 24. 17. I'm gonna look this up. I have not looked this up a week ago. I'm gonna look at the then. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins. Gets them to 10 wins. Just a little too late for Seattle. It's a really up and down season. So getting the Seahawks to win. They tie with the Rams. The Rams get the edge. Seattle wins 23-20. Next up, San Francisco at Arizona is a 4 o'clock game. 4.5 point favorite is Arizona. Give me San Francisco to win. They're gonna play Chicago. Brock Purdy won't play, but Josh Dobbs will. So Josh Dobbs will make plays. The rival game. So 42.5 is the over under. Give me the Niners to win. They play well and they win 28-21. Next up, and last game, number 272. Vikings at Lions. Lions favored by 3. The over under 56. The last time these two teams played, it was a competitive game, but the Lions defense is actually healthy. So I'm going to say the Lions get this win. The grit, power they have, they're going to win this game. It's a fun game to watch on Sunday Night Football. Lions win shootout 45-42. They demolish the over-under. Take the over for this game. It'll be a fun game to watch. And that is it for the What to Play podcast. Let me know in the comment section who you got winning this week. Also, who you got in the Vikings Lions matchup. For the What to Play podcast, I'm Jacob Peter, and we will see you in the wild.